Welcome to CBS Easy.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to crack open a really powerful math tool that's all about finding patterns and even predicting the future, in a way. It's called an arithmetic progression, or AP for short. And trust me, getting this down is a total game changer, especially for your board exams. But before we jump into any formulas, let's start with something from the real world. I've got a little puzzle for you that shows exactly why these patterns are so incredibly useful. Okay, so picture a ladder, but it's a special ladder. As you go up, the rungs get shorter, and they do it in a super predictable way. Each rung is exactly 2 centimeters shorter than the one right below it. And that very first rung, the one at the bottom, it's 45 centimeters long.
So here's the question. Without pulling out a tape measure for every single rung, how could you figure out the exact length of the 8th one from the bottom? I mean, sure, you could just keep subtracting 2 over and over, but that's slow. And what if I asked for the 80th rung? There's got to be a better way, right?
Well, of course there is. That better way, the secret to solving our ladder puzzle and tons of others, is all about understanding a very specific kind of number pattern.
And here it is, the star of our show, the Arithmetic Progression, or AP. All it is really is a list of numbers where you get to the next one by adding or subtracting the exact same amount every single time. It's that consistent step that makes it an AP.
And that fixed number, that constant step we're taking, it has a name. We call it the common difference, or just D for short. And D is super flexible. It can be a positive number if things are growing, a negative number if they're shrinking, or it could even be 0 if nothing changes at all. So let's see this in action. Take a simple list like 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see we're just adding 1 each time. But look at this next one, 170, 40. Here we're taking away 30 every step, so our common difference, our D, is minus 30. And yeah, it can be 0, like in 3333, or even a decimal. As long as that jump is the same every time, it's an AP. Now, to really work with these things, we just need to know the basic lingo. A is always our starting point, the very first number in the list. D is that common difference we just talked about, the size of our step. And AN is just a placeholder for whatever term we're looking for, like that 8th rung on our ladder. Okay, so we've got the vocabulary down. How do we actually use it to find the length of that 8th rung, or hey, even the 800th rung, without doing all that boring subtraction over and over again? It all just comes down to simple logic. Think about it. To get the second term in the list, what do? You take the first term, A, and you add the common difference, D, just one time. Simple enough. Okay, so what about the third term? Well, you just take the second term, which we already know is A plus D, and you just add D again. And what does that simplify to? A plus 2 Ds. Are you seeing the pattern here? For the fourth term, we take the third term and, you guessed it, we add D one more time, which gives us A plus 3 Ds. Notice how the number of Ds you add is always one less than the term number you're trying to find? And that little pattern right there leads us straight to the master key, the formula that unlocks any AP. To find any term, we call it AN. All you do is take your starting point A and add the common difference D, but you do it n-1 times. This formula is your first AP superpower. Let's just see how quick this is. You've got the series 2, 7, 12. Our starting point A is 2, and the jump between numbers, D, is 5. Let's say we want the 10th term. We just plug it in. It's 2 plus, well, 10 minus 1 is 9, times 5. So that's 2 plus 45, which gives us 47. Boom. Done. So much faster than counting on your fingers. So, finding any single term in a list? Problem solved. That's fantastic. But what if the question is a little different? What if instead of one piece, we need to find the total of all the pieces? Yeah, let's head back to our ladder. We might not care about just one rung. Maybe we're building it, and we need to know the total amount of wood needed for all the rungs combined. Now we're talking about adding everything up. Now, you could add them all up one by one, but there's this beautiful, clever trick that's way faster. Picture this. First, write down the sum you want to find, let's just call it S. Then, right underneath it, write the exact same list of numbers, but backwards. Now for the magic. Add the columns vertically. The first term plus the last, the second term plus the second to last. Every single one of these pairs adds up to the exact same number. So if you have n terms, you have n of these identical pairs. This new total is twice the sum you wanted, so you just divide by 2, and you're done. That neat little trick gives us 2 incredibly useful formulas for finding the sum. The first one is great when you know the start, the common difference, and how many terms you have. But the second one,
That one is a beautiful shortcut if you happen to know the very first term, A, and the very last term, L.
Okay, let's put all of this together. We're going to build your official AP exam toolkit so you can walk into any test feeling totally confident.
So let's go finish that ladder problem once and for all. Let's say it has 11 rungs. We know the first rung, A, is 45 centimeters, and the last one, L, is 25. Well, we have the perfect shortcut for this. The total wood needed is just 11 divided by 2, multiplied by 45 plus 25. A quick calculation, and we get 385 centimeters. Problem solved. No boring addition necessary.
And here is your biggest exam alert. This is crucial. It all comes down to what the question is asking you. Is it asking for one specific thing, like the 10th rung? Then you use the general term formula. Or is it asking for the total, the sum of everything? Then you use a sum formula. Getting this right under pressure is half the battle.
All right, a few final tips for exam day. 1. Don't forget that D can be negative or 0. 2. Your first move should always be to identify A, D, and N from the problem. 3. Here's a cool trick. Any single term is just the sum up to that term minus the sum up to the term right before it. And finally, knowing both sum formulas is a huge advantage. It can save you precious time.
You know, these things aren't just in your math book, they're everywhere. In how a salary increases each year, the way logs are stacked, or even the number of seats in each row of a big theater. Now that you know the secret code, the only real question is, where are you going to spot your next AP?
Thank you for watching with us. See you next time.